Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm going to pre-record this video, go to sleep right after I upload this, and then, upload it when I wake up. Fell asleep for a while, so I'm going to do a college basketball preview. I done my Kentucky basketball preview, months ago, I think, or like a month or two ago. So I want to do my college basketball preview. It's not long till the 2024 season starts. Starts in November. NBA starts tomorrow, actually. So I'll do a NBA season preview today. So you get 2 season previews, more college basketball, NBA content with just NBA in general, and then the Warriors. So looking forward to this NBA season. But let's talk about some college basketball here. I'm going to go over the top 25 rankings. Heading into this season, they're top 25 rankings. I'm going to give my 10 dark horse teams that not a lot of people are talking about, or maybe just my top 10 dark horse teams, and that might be it. We'll see what else. But let's get around to it. So number 1, Kansas Jayhawks. So last year, Kansas, or the last few years, man, they've got that number 1 ranking. It's just, they haven't done much with it, especially in March. And Riley Kugel decommitting, and then Elmarko Jackson's knee injury cleared the backcourt rotation up a bit. But they added a elite transfer in AJ Storr, Rylan Griffin, a high-level shooter, Zeke Mayo, a Summit League Player of the Year, and Shaquille Moore, a veteran starter, along with DeJuan Harris Jr. So this might be their starting lineup there, and they also have KJ Adams back, Hunter Dickinson, they're 2 big men. So their starting lineup's probably be something like DeJuan Harris, Zeke Mayo, AJ Storr, probably KJ Adams, Hunter Dickinson. Number 2 ranking is Alabama Crimson Tide. They also have Mark Sears back this year. They picked up Clifford Omarui out of Rutgers. One of the best interior defenders in the country. That's something Alabama's liked, which they needed. They got Chris Youngblood, Grant Nelson returning this year, and Grant Nelson and Jurian Stevenson, 2 players who would stretch the floor at the center spot. And will they be as effective offensively with a bigger lineup? We'll see, but I still expect them to be elite. So the UConn Huskies, in addition to all the NBA talent they've had produced the past couple of years from their national championship teams, Dan Hurley also had one of the best bench guards in the nation in Asandu Diarra. He was the 6-man award winner, just started 4 games, but he should be in the starting lineup this year. They got Aiden Mahaney from St. Mary's. They got Liam McNeely, who was number 9 in the ESPN Top 100. Hassan Diarra should step up in the starting lineup this year. Alex Caravan's back this year. I think UConn should have been the number 1 team. I still think they're going to be good, a really good team. I'm not saying they're going to three-peat, because college basketball is too unpredictable, especially in March. But UConn, I think they're the best team. Houston, they bring back L.J. Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, Juwan Roberts, Javier Francis in their starting lineup. They brought in Miles Uzan to run the show at point guard, the Oklahoma transfer. So Jamal Shayad, it's going to be tough to replace him. He was really good last year. He developed one of the nation's premier point guards. He is elite defensively and clutch playmaking. So we'll see how they do without him, but I still think they'll be good. So there will be a learning curve, though, with the Big 12. So yeah, Houston at number 4, Gonzaga at number 5. So will Gonzaga be better defensively without its best defender? We'll see. Their second half turnaround last season was impressive, but the Zags will need to be more consistent, stopping the ball, protecting the rim, because they kind of struggled at that. Now they won't have Anton Watson to do that, but one big addition they had was Emmanuel Innocenti, an elite defender at Tarleton State, who should really help on that end of the floor. They'll have Ryan Nembhard, obviously. They got Michael Ajayi. If you don't know who he is, he was at Pepperdine last year, really the only bright spot of that team. He averaged 17 points per game. They still have Nolan Hickman, Ryan Nembhard, Ben Gray, Graham Ike. So they still have a really good starting lineup. or that's my projected lineup for them. For Baylor, well, they're really enough up front. I mean, they got Jeremy Roach back. Got Jeremy Roach. He transferred over to Baylor. They have VJ Edgecombe, who was number 3 in the ESPN 100. No Chart O'Meara. So Baylor's loaded as any team in the country on the perimeter because they got Jeremy Roach and an elite recruit in VJ Edgecombe joining Jaden Nunn and Langston Love, who I thought were Langston Love was really underrated for Baylor last year. They brought in the Miami transfer, Norchad O'Meara, who should anchor him down low, but they don't have a ton behind him besides Josh Ojuwana, or how you say his name, so they could play small ball. We'll see. They're the number 6 team, Iowa State at 7. They've been one of the elite defenses in the past 3 seasons, but it's also been in the bottom half in the Big 12 in offensive efficiency. Curtis Jones maybe in the lineup could be a boost. They added transfers into Deshaun Jackson and Nate Heasy from Charlotte and Northern Iowa. Deshaun Jackson averaged 11 points per game, and I don't know how many Heath averaged. But they have Tremaine Lipsey back, Curtis Jones, Keyshawn Gilbert, Milan Momcilovic. Number 8 is Duke. We'll see how Cooper Flagg does, the number 1 recruit in the ESPN 100. See if Tyrese Proctor see if he can improve after a bad season last year. Kamal Malute, or how you say his name, a 5-star. But we'll see if Cooper Flagg can prove he's the best player in the country. Number 9, Arizona. Can they get rid of its March woes? Because they've been a 1 or 2 seed in each of the past 3 tournaments, but they've failed to reach the Elite 8. Lost 5 seed Houston, 15 seed Princeton, and 6 seed Clemson. They still have Caleb Love this year. They brought in Trey Townsend at Oakland, who averaged 17 points per game. But they're the number 9 ranking. We'll see. They could take a hit moving to the Big 12. With their starting lineup, Caleb Love and Trey Townsend will be their 2 best players. They're going to need to get more from their other players, though. North Carolina, number 10 ranking. They got Elliot Cadeau moving to the starting lineup this year. They kept R.J. Davis is back. They got the number 7 recruit in Ian Jackson, a guy in Cade Tyson, who averaged 16.2 points at Belmont. Van Allen Lubin is 6'8" center. Jalem Withers and Jalen Washington haven't been consistent. The typical size of proven production just isn't there. And Ben Lubin's solid. It's just I don't know if he's that good. Auburn. They got J.P. Pedges, or how you say his name. Averaged 18 points at Furman. Will he be the answer at point guard? Like Bruce Pearl hasn't had that high-level point guard play in years, so just inconsistent decision-making. Wendell Green, the growing pains of Aiden Holloway, and that was the best player in the SoCon, arguably. So he'll have a lot of shoulders. They got Miles Kelly from Georgia Tech, who averaged 13 points. They still have Johnny Broome, Chad Baker-Mazzara. Texas A&M, obviously bringing back Wade Taylor, who really up and down last year, but he was good, I'd say. They bring in Phelps, who averaged about 15 points at SMU. Manny Obaseki, Henry Coleman, and then Pharrell Payne, who they got from Minnesota. Tennessee at number 13. They brought in Felix Okpara out of Ohio State. They got Chaz Lanier, who averaged about 20 points per game at North Florida. He's really good. They got another guy from Hofstra, Darlin Stone DeBar, who averaged nearly 18 points per game. So they got some key transfers. And I know they lost Dalton Knecht, but they're still going to be a good team. Arkansas at 14. Their projected starting 5, they got Jonas Adu, DJ Wagner, and John L. Davis out of the transfer portal. DJ Wagner, who was at my Kentucky Wildcats last year. John L. Davis from Florida Atlantic. That dude can ball. Carter Knox, who is number 26 in the ESPN 100. Jonas Adu. We'll see how John Calipari does. Wagner, he just didn't have a good freshman year for us. He'll need to be more consistent, more efficient, better shooter, because Boogie Flynn is the only backup. We'll see how John Calipari does in his first year. Creighton ranked at number 15. Ryan Kalkbrenner back this year. They added transfers in Pop Isaacs and Jemiah Neal. Isaacs needs to be more consistent for them, like a better, just more efficient from the floor, because he wasn't efficient for Texas Tech. They don't have Baylor Shireman, Trey Alexander, so how do they replace those two scorers? They're going to need Pop Isaacs to step up. They're going to need, obviously, Kalkbrenner to be that 20-point guy. Stephen Ashworth, Mason Miller, those guys can shoot. So, yeah, number 16, Purdue. So, how will life be without Zach Edey? We'll see how Purdue does, but I'm not too high on them this year. Braden Smith is solid, Fletcher Lawyer, but I really don't see much with this team. But it will really fall on the returnees of Trey Kaufman-Wren and Caleb First, really, and then intriguing freshman Daniel Jacobson. Marquette at 17, Indiana's at 18. They're going to be really good this year. I really think they will, because they brought in Omar Ballo, Malik Renew's coming back, Miles Rice, a really talented freshman. A guy, Carlisle from Stanford, and McBacco. They all averaged 11 or more points per game last year. They need to make threes consistently, but I think they'll be good. Cincinnati at number 19. I really like Cincinnati this year. I really do. I think Jizzle James will be a big piece for this team. So I think they can break through, get to the tournament. Ole Miss at 20, Florida at 21. Bringing back Will Clayton Jr., transferring Elijah Martin, and Will Riker maybe can take a step forward. Texas at 22. My Kentucky Wildcats at 23. Brought in no returning players last year. Mark Pope. I think we're going to be really good this year. I'm really excited for this season. Recap Kentucky. The projected starting lineup, I don't know what's going to be, but we got players like Jackson Robinson, Andrew Carr, Maureen Williams, Otega Owa, Kirk Carissa. Like, there's a lot of intriguing players, especially with freshmen. Obviously, Trent Noe, you have Travis Perry. This team's has a lot of veterans and some young guys. UCLA at 24 and Rutgers at 25. Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper, they're two 5-stars, number 2 and number 4. They brought in Jordan Dirac, 17-point per game guy at Merrimack. There's some teams that I could have included. Texas Tech. I think Illinois got disrespected. I think Illinois got disrespected. Texas Tech, Xavier, some teams like that. But yeah, that's my top 25. I'll go over my top 10 dark horses, and that'll probably be it for my preview here. Top 10, I would say Indiana. I really like their lineup, man. Trey Galloway, Mackenzie Mbako, they give one a versatile lineup like Miles Rice, Kenan Carlisle, like returning players like Malik Reneau, Mbako, Galloway. They have a really good lineup. I think Arkansas is going to be good because they're a team that plays really fast. They can share the ball, and they really got some good transfers like John L. Davis and Jonas Adu. They got some players from my Kentucky Wildcats because Calipari went there. Kentucky, I think, will be a big surprise. I think we're picked 8th in the SEC poll. I just like the rebuilt roster. Like, we got guys that can defend and can shoot the ball. I think this team will play fast. I think Creighton will be another surprise. Rutgers will be a dark horse. And with a top recruiting class and crucial returners, I think they'll bounce back this year. I think Illinois. I think they got disrespected. They got transfers such as Ben Humrichus and Kylan Boswell and a talented freshman class. I think they got disrespected. I don't know why they're not ranked. Arizona could be a dark horse. Like, they got Trey Townsend and some experienced players. Ohio State, I really think, can, because they got Meechie Johnson, Sean Stewart, and they got a mix of like experienced players and talented newcomers. They could be a surprise. I really think they can. Florida and Cincinnati. That's my top 10. But that's my quick college preview. Went over the top 25 rankings, gave you some dark horse teams. Could go over conferences, but I mean that's just too hard to predict. I mean, because a team can have a down year, like their transfers or recruiting class be disappointing. So that's my one of the top 25 rankings. Gave you my top 10 dark horse teams. But yeah, it's really all to say here. Leave a like, subscribe for more. Until next time, have a lot. Peace. And I'll do my NBA preview later on today.